Hello, beautiful beings. I wanted to come to you today to talk about something that's missed along the way when we're looking at fulfilling our dreams, or just simply when we're looking to pursue a goal. And I think we have such a fairy tale image of what that looks like that it often derails us from getting there or continuing the pursuit. And I think we miss the signals that are actually guiding us and helping us to achieve those goals or those dreams. And then therefore let them go long before we are meant to. So if you can humor me for a little bit today, I just want you to think about the fact that what I'm finding now, that's a common theme through people, is we actually have either given up our dreams, like given up the goals or the things we imagined, almost as if we feel like it's just too late, or we have assumed that it's not right for us or not appropriate anymore, or is going to be too hard. And so we've let it go in that direction, or we assume that, we're only supposed to go a certain percentage. So I want you to entertain the idea that maybe some of those need to be resurrected. And when we entertain that idea, the most common thing I hear from people, well, I don't even know what they are anymore. We've let them go, but we've also let go our own ability to think about them. We have become riddled with the concept that it's actually too heartbreaking or too hard to think about them. We imagine they're impossible, so why would we dishearten ourselves that way? We imagine that it's just too late, so there wouldn't be enough time. We imagine that we're just not the same healthy, physical, capable person we used to be. And literally, it sometimes makes us sad to even think about them. So I want you to look at them again as though they are possible. Because the reason you don't know if they're possible is because we miss the signs guiding us to make them possible. So we have to resurrect them. We have to pull them from deep down inside of us where we have stored them and put them away to even look at them, to make them even at all possible. And I'm going to tell you a very personal story that will prove to you, because, and I think I know this is true, everything I've just said, because I really lived it and for years. And if you know some of my story, you know that I was big into health and fitness and outdoors and nature and did all these crazy hike things and endurance races. And I was just getting into the Ironman worlds and falling in love with them. And then I started to get sick. And I got so sick over so many years when they couldn't figure out that I was really challenged even walking. I was struggling to even think or remember the simplest of tasks. And I couldn't imagine what was happening. I won't go into the whole story of trying to figure out what was going on, but as I tried to recover, I was told it was a chronic illness. A lot of that recovery would have never happened if I could develop a healthy sort of way of life. Then I should appreciate that. So as you can imagine, all dreams went aside. All I could hope for is being able to go for a walk and be healthy. If I had enough energy to get through the day and maybe once in a while go out and do something, that was the best I could have hoped for, and I should be happy with that. And so something struck me that there was, like, they talk about two little things perched on your shoulder trying to tell you one thing and what the other one telling you the exact opposite. So the two that I had on my shoulder were, no, don't accept that. You once accepted that you could never get better at all, and now you are. And then the other one was, no, just be appreciative and have gratitude for the fact that you are getting help, and wherever you get and living a casual, relaxed, healthy, normal life, you should be more than grateful for. And the one that was talking about the dream was saying, you're only going to get sad. Every time I would think about it, I would get depressed and sad and think, I'll never, ever get to do that again. I have to give it all up. And then the other one was, you're going to spend your whole life thinking about and imagining this thing that's beyond your reach. Why not live now and in the moment? And in a weird way, they're both right, but both are also possible. So that's where we need to resurrect them. And so imagine it like this. You have your dream. That is your guidepost. You don't have to worry about all the steps to get there. It's just your marker, the piece of the puzzle that you can imagine, that you can see. And each time that you're trying to get guidance on where to go next, that's sort of your little piece at the end saying, does it help you get towards there, or does it not? And so you want to keep imagining it, but don't worry about how to get there. Don't worry about the process that all goes in between, but allow yourself to dream and imagine it, because that helps create all the creativity in your body. Really, it awakens your whole nervous system to, oh, this is where I want to go. So if you don't have that daydreaming or imaginary time with it, then you're really not allowing your body to feel what it is that you're wanting to feel as you head in that direction. It awakens all your senses to it. It triggers all those little neurons in your body to look for it. And then here's what happens. You now bring yourself back to the first step. But because you're still allowing that creative, imaginary, daydreaming aspect to it, your body is fully engaged. Your body, your mind, your spirit, your emotions are fully engaged on looking for the direction, the guidance, the steps that will get you there. So when you start with your first step and really bring yourself back once you identify that first step and focus on it, while taking the opportunity, the downtime, when you have the self-care and self-love opportunities during your day, and daydream and imagine it, your body will instinctively look for the next steps. And so when you allow yourself to have that imaginary aspect to what you believe to be your greatest dream or your greatest goal, you will constantly be aware and engaged with little things that you'll be like, oh, wait, that might help me go there. Or, oh, all of a sudden now I'm perked up listening to this conversation of someone else who did some things to head in that direction. You're going to have heightened all your senses to, oh, there's a clue. Oh, there's a piece of guidance. Oh, there's something that might help me get there. And you just start to collect and record, and all of these things will refine you in the direction that you're trying to go. And so it really doesn't matter if that dream or that goal is 100% possible, because it's like a beacon. It's your light that's your following and guidance. And, if you imagine that it's a light off in the distance that's guiding you, you can't know what you're going to encounter along the way. And so many times I actually find people find out that dream, that goal they have, that beacon out there is even not only easier than they imagined to attain, it's even a little bit different and better than they had imagined. So you just have to let yourself imagine what it could be, refine it as you develop information and guidance along the way, and just let it be. And this is really where the whole part of enjoy the process comes in. Don't control it. Flow with it. Let it guide you. Learn the pieces. It does not matter if you don't even have a clue to get there. Just let yourself explore, looking for the solutions. And then here is the most important piece to all of this. And I'm going to tell you, it is probably the most emotional for me and probably the hardest for all of us to accept. But I have recently learned that it is not even close to telling us what we think it is, and that is failure. We have such a fear of failure that it actually often cripples us to the point that we don't even want to imagine our goal or our dream. Our fear of failure, our fear of making a misstep or making a wrong direction, or even going in the right direction and it not working out, stops us from pursuing our dreams. And I'm going to tell you, the most beautiful thing about failure is it is not telling you not to pursue your dreams. It is guiding you in a better and easier direction. And I really want you to take that in. Failure is guiding you. It is not trying to stop you. And every time you feel like you hit a wall or a roadblock or something's not possible, I ask that you just sit with it. Reimagine your dream. Try to get the feeling that that dream or goal will give you. Pretend you live in a world where you are realizing that dream, and your next step will come to you. Do not focus on the failure. Accept it for what it was and consider that it is just a guidepost saying, well, not exactly right there. Let's tweak it a little bit, and then you may have a better direction. That is what it is trying to do for you. It is never trying to stop you. And when we approach the possibility of failure, it can be scary. When we experience it, it can be devastating. And then when we have to take our next step out of the box to move a foot forward towards our goal and our dream, it can be the most overwhelming experience of our lives. But I'm going to tell you that if you don't have those feelings, you are probably not getting and going and getting to where you want to be. So the more you can accept this as part of the process, the more that you can accept all of it, even what appears negative, as something that is trying to help you, you are going to get there. You are going to get there faster and easier than you can imagine. Because the most freeing thing about failure is it's actually not so bad. And when you realize that it was just trying to redirect you, you can actually be grateful for it. And when you start to enjoy the feeling of stepping out of your comfort zone just a little bit and realizing that it's not so bad, and realizing that there's actually a very empowering feeling each time you take a micro step in a direction that you were a little bit scared to do, you garner power. And so that direction you're looking for to go to for that goal or that dream, you actually start to pick up motivation and power to get there. And now what once looked impossible, unattainable, it's in your sights. And it doesn't mean that you don't have to sometimes take a pause, reevaluate, redirect yourself, look for solutions, ask for help, figure things out along the way. That all keeps happening. It's a process of reevaluation, introspection, taking time to recover and rejuvenate and rebuild yourself, and then get back out on that path and take another step. And when that one feels like it was a lot or in the wrong direction, then stop, reevaluate, and do it all over again. And that next step is going to boost you and empower you like nothing else. And that process keeps happening until it starts to pick up speed and you've got more clarity in your direction, you've got more certainty in your ability, and all of a sudden what seemed completely impossible is clearly 100% possible. That's how the process goes. Believe me, I've done all of those pieces backwards, sideways, and forwards a million times. And the last thing I would ever want to see anybody do is give up a dream because it seems hard, or it seems like it wasn't right, or it just doesn't seem possible. It always is. But the first step to all of it is you got to dig down deep and resurrect those dreams. They're in there. They're in there. And they may not even be exactly what you once thought they were, but allow them to come up. Allow yourself to think about them. Dream, imagine, pretend you're doing them. And all of a sudden, the next step will be revealed to you. Dare to dream.